Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Wednesday, August 10. So, with the S&P and the Nasdaq and the US stocks, the way I'm looking at it is from the low, we're looking at an A wave, an ABC for the B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 5. So, I mean, this could also turn into bullish, but at the end of these 5 waves here, we will have some type of correction. We'll either come back for the B wave, which will be quite deep, or we'll come back as a wave 4 to the wave 4 of one lesser degree and then push up again. That I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out here. So that's just a matter of time. The other point here is that I've got this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a little bit, the Australian move up here is quite complex. So we can put wave 3 here, which I think is the right thing to do. And then looking at this as wave 4 coming into play here for that. So just kind of bear this in mind, and we'll just have a look at the ASX here. So with the ASX, we had wave 3 over here. And then I was thinking, well, if we've got to move to the upside, could I look at this as, well, wave 3 here with an A wave here, and then an A wave here, and then complicate it all the way across here for a B wave, and then 5 waves up here for C of B, and then come down here for 5 waves. So would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down here for wave C of 4. So let's see if we get 5 waves down here for that. That will be one thing. The other thing that I thought, well, as I've just mentioned with the US markets, we've got that wave 3 on that top there, and I'm wondering, and I've got this wave 3 over here, so I'm wondering if I've got something weird here with 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 3rd wave, some sort of ABC for the 4th wave here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for this of wave wave 5 of 3, and then we look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Whichever it is here, I mean, if we look at it a little bit tactically and think to ourselves, well, I'm thinking that if this market gains support, a classic trading levels pattern, because that's the resistance at 710, if it finds support on 710, get a very small position and then build onto the 2 and then build onto the 3 here, so just building very small positions in on top of the 7,000 and looking for that 7,030, the top of group 1, to become the support at that point, and then we should be okay to go up to the upside. However, if this is going to come back as wave 4 here, then it's going to struggle to find support on 7,010 and then make a move to the downside. So I think building in through group 1 would be the logical step to the upside. And let's just say that I made a total cock up of the whole thing, but we do get our 5 waves down here, and then we've got to use that as a top here. Well, then we would have an ABC pattern after this here anyway, after this 5 waves, and that would leave us to go short down here, and we could also look at this one over here, but that won't be ready for a while. So if that was the case, this is where we'd be short, and we can go down from that point. So yeah, if this is going to move up through here, then you need to move in like above that. And if it does come down in 5 waves here, then yeah, so we definitely need to see an impulse wave up there first, wouldn't we? I was just counting down here. So that is the 3rd wave. I hadn't counted, I just plonked it there. So if that was going to be the 4th, that will pull back to that 4th wave here, because I can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So that's the first one. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that would be that is definitely going to be the problem area there. So if that 710 becomes support, then you can build in, but otherwise just be careful, because we'll go up there anyway. And then moving down. We can move down into probably 965 here would be about right, I think. I'm just trying to look at the most important number here, but also look at the length of wave 1 as well, in on that. So and if that was the case, then we could look at 50-60% would be back up here at that point. So we could trade up to that point. We could trade roughly up to there, couldn't we? You know, so you could, if it drops down below the 6980, and this is all of group 2 here, by the way, 972. I can just borrow these, 972 roughly, and 965. 65 here, 965 roughly. So that group 2 should find support, and that would take the market back to that point. So if it does come down here and then finds the 80 as support, you could trade up to that point, and we could just have a look at it and see what it looks like at that point. But it will definitely react at this point here as well. So it's not much in there, probably more of a hassle than anything else actually. But we have to weed our way through this situation. Yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. I kind of like this A wave here, then this A, B, and C here for the B wave, and then down for the C wave, you know, rather than 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But still, that's how the US markets has played out, with wave 3 over here with a 5 wave move to that point. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. Okay, so I'll leave that at that. Yeah, a bit of a tricky one. So the banks, yeah, so yesterday we were looking at Macquarie's, which we were looking at Macquarie's, squash it in here a little bit, as a nice A wave, B wave, and C wave, and then moving up. And we were looking at this here. I was thinking this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to this point. So we've got wave 1 and 2 here. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So this can be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So if we get a little move above this high here, then that will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to the upside at that point, and that will be important. Not that we need to do anything at that point. We'll wait for an ABC pattern here, and then we could move in on the long side at that point. Okay, so we'll just wait for that to set up. But it is a nice ABC pattern. You know, the other thing that I'm thinking with CBA here is that I can look at this as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave to this point for the A wave, and then up for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then down for the C. That's the general. This is the general move that I've got with the US markets, basically. So an A wave to finish off, a B wave, and then a C wave here, and then for the B wave, and then down for the C wave. So a much more complicated sort of correction here. That's what we've got with the S&P 500 and the NASI and all the rest of it. I can't confirm it at this point because we could end up having this as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and moving up. But otherwise we'll know at some point, looking at the B wave to come into play, then the C of B, and then down for the C. I know it's complicated, but they're the two pathways for the market to go into, and so we need to consider that with our local market as well, you know, and our banks and so on at that point. So yeah, I just have to leave CBA for a while, and yeah. So over to the iron ore. I'm thinking, you know, I did have a bit of a squizzy this morning at this iron ore report here that came out from the government, our government, the industry publications, .industry.gov.au publications for iron ore, came out in June this year, and it's just on iron ore. And I just kind of wanted to see who was buying our iron ore here, and it's still China at this point. I thought we were doing some business with India. India is buying some, so I don't know why it's not on here. But it's still all about China here at that point. But these are the steel mills here, and as I sort of was waffling on during the week or last week or something or other about the steel mills in China, they're closing down as fast as the property market is closing down, but they're still buying, from the monthly reports here for that. Maybe that's diminishing off a little bit, because I was thinking the iron ore port stocks here, we can see that it's coming off here, and if this was June, it doesn't have July or August, so that could be down further at this point. So I was kind of really wondering, why this is rallying off the low here for this. And we do have an impulse wave here. So it kind of, as soon as I see an impulse wave in the opposite direction, I start figuring out, like, how can this be bullish, and as an A wave here and a B wave and a C wave here, I'm thinking of that. I mean, it looks quite good as wave 1, 2 and wave 3 here, but wave 4's come back up too high, because I know copper is rallying in a wave 4, and so there's a part of it with BHP anyway, but that's another story. But so I've just sort of gone back to my bearish count here, putting wave B up here until, if we get the 800 here as support, then I'll turn bullish at that point. But I'll just wait for that, because I think we should still have down. It should show up here, soonish. And then I sort of had a look at BHP. I went to, I haven't updated it for a long time. I had a weekly chart here with this here. It's a bit ancient, but kind of got that general pathway. We need to put wave B here and wave C here. I wouldn't worry about this particular degree of structure, but if this is correct as an A wave and a B wave here, then this will be wave 1 and 2 here. This has got to be the third wave, this has got to be the fourth wave, and then down for the fifth wave here. This leg's not finished, and it has nipped the low out here, just eyeballing it. So yeah, you'd get a bounce off the previous low anyway, and then it hits a brick wall at 40, and then comes down. So I think there's still, on the weekly here, I think there's another leg to come down. So coming back to the daily chart, here I've just labelled it as such. Different degree of structure, I think, but it doesn't really matter. So sometimes BHP is a little bit hard to count because it's like Swiss cheese, but 1 and ABC for 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then coming down for 5 here, something like that anyway. And this would be wave 4, the 38.2% retracement, just above the 40 there. It does appear that we've got like a little impulse wave here, so it may hold up a little bit longer than I thought, because that looks impulsive at this point. And then there'll be a little 1 and 2 in here, and then 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave. We haven't taken the top out here, so that could just be an A and a B and a C wave here when we're done and dusted at that point, and we can put wave 4 right there, but I don't know that yet, so we'll just chill and pick on that. But shorting that low there would be fine, but otherwise we're not far from the 38.2. So that means that if that's correct, and I feel comfortable about that, what we just talked about, so that would leave Fortescue's here. I'm not sure how to count this, but I mean, this is a top, and we can look at this as an A wave and a B wave here, or even put the B wave over here. It doesn't really matter as an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then an A and a B, and maybe an A, B, C to here. Actually, that would be even better, wouldn't it? But then it still leaves this down here, so that would, yeah, it's getting a little bit complicated, but I've just seen a few things which I won't drag you into at the moment, but I'll just leave that for the time being. So if you're long here, then you'll need to pretty much exit, I think. I think there's one more little move here. This little wave 4 here may come down a tad further and come up to here and then move out, because we need 5 waves in that little structure there. So it'll come back, you know, because when something breaks through a new high, it always comes back and checks it, tests it. So it's doing all the right things at that point. But yeah, this is the 50-60% retracement level at the 20 as well, from wave B top here to that low coming back up. So that's where the problem area is going to be for that. And Rio, yeah, I mean, we've tried to look at it as wave 1 here on A and a B, but probably the A, the B and the C coming into here. So something going on here with that. Anyway, I don't have a long trade set up here. We can short it under here though. That's something, isn't it? It's not a total loss, and we could probably get closer to it than that, but we'll just we'll have to wait for another low to come in. We can draw a trend line through here, and if that becomes the retested resistance along the way, well, then we can short it from that point, you know. So you just treat a trend line just like a trading level. So the market will come down, hit it, bounce back onto it, come through it, go back and check it. You just have to be careful, because sometimes the market likes to go back and check it twice, and that's just important for where you put your stops, you know. But basically, once it migrates from being support to resistance, then you feel more comfortable of, you know, backing up the ute and shoveling it in, you know. So yeah. Gold, so yeah, we're getting that impulse wave off here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I'd been looking at this as 1 from yesterday, I think, and 2. The wave 3 is not really showing me the love, you know. I can see that probably, I mean, it definitely needs to move up further, you know. It's too short at this point, so we'll just keep an eye on it. But I know this number here, 18, it's you know, it's a train wreck. It's the 3rd strongest number, so it's going to be, you know, it's going to hold this market, you know, in this space, group 1 above and group 2 below. So if you're looking to get some gold, and I'm going to get some physical gold, we still need, you know, we need that, I'll just put it up there somewhere. Once we got those 5 waves, we still need some sort of corrective wave to come into play here for this, you know. And if this is correct, if we've got 5 waves here and this is corrective, well, then we'll be going up at that point. So that's sort of looking quite good at this stage, but yeah, it will be trapped in this space here for quite some time, and may not come back that far. It might just stay within group 2 here for this ABC pattern as well. We'll see. I mean, technically it can come back to, if I take it to the top of group 1 here, can come back, you know, down into this space, but group 2's got quite a good grip on the market once it's in play, and all of this area through here where it sort of, you know, slogged it out here, that becomes the support for it over here, you know. So we could get a dip down like that where it doesn't become the resistance, but, you know, it pops down and you know, moves back up. So oh, this is copper. So I'm looking at copper as well as here as an A wave and a B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 going up for C up here. So you definitely need to be, if I've got you into this situation here, you definitely need to be looking to get out soonish with this here. I think there's another push to the upside here, but don't let it drift too much past this particular low here for that. It could be bullish, all of this, but I'm not convinced yet. So Newcrest Mining. So we've got a little tiny position there, just a, you know, part position, but I'm still not convinced about GDX as well as this market. So for me to be convinced about this market being bullish, I do need to see 1, 2 here, 3, 4 and 5 up here. I do need to see that as some sort of wave 1 here, and and wave 2 over here, which we don't have just yet, you know what I mean? So there's a long way to go. So this will be the safe trade over this point for it. So it could just be an A and a B and a C go a bit higher here, but this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming up here to 2050 or something like that, and then fading at that point. So I'm not sure how you want to manage that, but yeah, it's a bit of a hairy, scary ride to the upside. The US dollar index, I just don't have any answers for this. I just needed to play out a little bit further. I can look at this as count this as 5 waves down here. So it could just come back to this base here and then drop down again from that point. So that would be bearish, taking that, taking this low out here. That would be helpful. But I can see it also, you know, moving up here. I could also look at this as the A wave here and put the B wave over here and have this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for the B wave, and then have a C wave up here into the 61.8% for wave 2 or wave B or something, you know. It's just not a very good convincing 5-wave structure down here based on this overlapping business in here. It just doesn't sit very well with me. So I'm a little bit, I haven't nailed this down just yet. You know, if we can see some sort of move down here, well then, you know, I'll be happy with that. You know, we can call that top in, but we can't do that yet. It's looking 50-50. It could easily, you know, alternative wave 4 here and go up at this point. So I just don't know yet, which is annoying because it would help me with lots of things. It helps me with you know, other currencies. It helps me with the stock market and commodities and all of those sorts of things. So yeah, it's pretty central. So that leaves us with the Australian dollar. And yesterday we were looking at this possibly being 1 and 2 and 3 here, and we were looking for wave 4 here. It's drifted down a bit further, and I think looking at this here as an A and a B and a C here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we could come down a bit further. We don't have a long trade until we get 5 waves to the upside. And then even when we do get 5 waves to the upside, you could probably trade that up there and take it above the high here, but don't expect it to go that high really. It'll hit something over here, but yeah, the setup is over here. Classic trading levels pattern, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC here, and then the market needs to prove to us that it's bullish and take that top out there, and we can, you know, move in over this side. Getting in over this side is just much higher risk, so we have to wait for it to unfold and come to us rather than you know, chasing it around the nightclub floor. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Cheers.